In 1904, the Olympic Games in St. Louis, Missouri hosted a men's marathon that devolved into pure insanity. It remains the most bizarre, hazardous, and borderline criminal athletic event in human history. Out of 32 runners, only 14 finished the race. The rest of the competitors were hospitalized or poisoned or chased into the wilderness by wild animals. To understand why this happened, you have to look at the chief organizer, James Sullivan. He was obsessed with a popular but deeply flawed theory of the era known as purposeful dehydration. Early 20th century trainers genuinely believed that drinking water during prolonged exercise caused muscle softness and stomach cramps. Sullivan decided to use the Olympic marathon as a live laboratory to test this theory. He blocked almost all access to water, and he only set up 2 water stations along the entire 26-mile course. To make matters worse, the Olympics were tacked onto the St. Louis World's Fair as a sideshow. The course wasn't a closed track at all. It was just a series of public unpaved service roads winding through brutal 90-degree August heat and intense humidity. Organizers also allowed officials and journalists and coaches to drive cars and ride horses directly alongside the runners. These primitive vehicles kicked up massive dense plumes of dirt into the air. One runner named William Garcia collapsed on the roadside and nearly died. The dust had completely coated his esophagus and tore his stomach lining, which caused a massive internal hemorrhage. If he had been left there any longer, he would have suffocated from the inside out. Because of the extreme conditions, the athletes did desperate things just to survive. A Cuban mailman named Andrén Carvajal raised money to travel to the games by running laps around his hometown. After losing all his cash gambling in St. Louis, he showed up to the starting line in heavy leather street shoes and long trousers. He had to cut the pants off at the knees with scissors right before the starting gun fired. Carvajal hadn't eaten anything in 40 hours. Mid-race, he saw an official eating peaches and asked for a bite, but the official refused him. Carvajal then ran into a nearby orchard and ate some rotten apples, which immediately caused intense stomach cramps. He laid down on the side of the road and took a 1-hour nap. Then he woke up and kept running and somehow still finished in 4th place. Logistical neglect was everywhere during the event. The South African delegation sent Len Tanyane and Jan Mashiane, who were the first Black Africans to participate in the modern Olympics. They were actually at the World's Fair as part of a historical exhibition and were asked to join the race at the very last minute. They ran the course completely barefoot. Tanyane was tracking toward a medal until a pack of aggressive stray dogs spotted him and chased him a mile off course into the woods. He still finished in 9th place. Then there was the actual winner of the gold medal, Thomas Hicks. His performance exposed the complete lack of regulation on performance enhancers at the time. Halfway through the race, Hicks collapsed from exhaustion. His trainers didn't see a medical emergency, they just saw a machine running out of fuel. They administered a makeshift cocktail of egg whites and warm brandy and sulfate of strychnine. For context, strychnine is literally rat poison. In high doses it kills you on the spot, but in tiny doses it acts as a central nervous system stimulant. Hicks kept running, but his brain was completely shutting down. By mile 20, he was hallucinating and believing the finish line was still 20 miles away. His skin turned a sickly gray color. When he reached the stadium, his trainers practically carried him across the line. His legs were dangling in the air while he mechanically pumped them forward. He won the gold medal and was rushed straight to the hospital, where he spent days recovering from rat poison consumption. But the most famous runner of the day was Fred Lors. Lors dropped out at mile 9 due to severe cramping. He hopped into his manager's car and rode comfortably for the next 11 miles of the course. The car broke down, so Lors got out and walked into the stadium and crossed the finish line first. The crowd went wild. The president's daughter was about to place the gold medal around his neck when a spectator revealed Lors had spent half the race in a passenger seat. Lors claimed the whole thing was just a joke, but pissed off officials banned him from the sport. When the dust finally settled, the 1904 marathon was recognized as a historic embarrassment. The dehydration experiment failed completely. The track was a literal biohazard, and the winner only survived because doctors pumped the rat poison out of his stomach.